Welcome. I'm a physical therapist. I've been practicing for 40 years, and this is my very first video. I wanted to make a video about senior stability and fall prevention exercises. Been doing this a while. I've been working in patients' homes and I've been teaching them exercises over all these many years. I've got my favorite 10. These exercises improve stability and strength in the seniors, but it also has an added benefit of reducing the chances of falling. As you get stronger, your chances of falling go down. Over these many years, I've learned what works and what doesn't work. Often seniors are sent home with 10 to 15 different pages of exercises when they get discharged from a rehab center or a hospital. Guess what happens? They get shoved in a drawer, never to be looked at again. And I come in as a physical therapist, I teach them these 10 exercises and they say, "Where have you been all my life?" These work. I've been in patients' homes maybe 4 to 5 years later. I'll go back in and my exercises are still on their refrigerator. In my prior life as a physical therapist, I dealt with injury prevention, but in a much different environment. I made a video for Ryder Truck Company that they used to prevent back injuries. I did classes at Coca-Cola on preventing back injuries while lifting crates of Coca-Cola on and off the floor. I've done work even at the Klondike Bar Factory where I put on a coat, got into a minus 10-degree freezer, and showed them how to lift crates of Klondike bars. Why this video now? There will be more videos to come, by the way, but this is my first. Well, the reason this is necessary is a lot of times seniors are in their homes, they really don't know what to do in the way of exercises. These exercises really aren't geared for a 65-year-old or a 71-year-old who's extremely active. These are for maybe your mom and dad who haven't been exercising, who are discharged from the hospital and they've had a physical therapist, but they didn't teach them anything to do on their own. Real quickly, Medicare has turned into an HMO overnight. I used to get 25 to 36 visits with a patient in their home, structured program over several weeks. Now, unfortunately, they've cut Medicare back to I might get 6 to 8 visits. That's not enough to really teach a good exercise program, and sometimes there's PTs that just come in and walk you down the hallway and call that physical therapy. My terrific 10 group of exercises will show you, bottom line, the ones you need to do every day. And when do you stop doing these exercises, you say? Well, I tell patients when you stop brushing your teeth. Is exercise really a benefit? Yes. Even people over 90 years old have been proven to get stronger. But what happens after 65? Well, after 65, you have a 30% chance greater of falling in the home, sometimes for no reason. You walk backwards, you turn quickly, you maybe took a step that isn't there that you thought was, and down you go. Or sometimes you just get up too fast and your blood pressure drops and you fall. These can all be prevented with a structured exercise program that you do twice a day. There are 2 important studies I want you to hear about quickly. In 2015, in the Journal of Aging, they took 2 groups of seniors. They were in a nursing home. They put one through a regular exercise program, the others just went about their daily activity. The ones that did the exercises on a regular basis at a significant level, which isn't a lot by the way, they had a 75% reduction in their chances of falling. There's a lot of times my patients will say to me, I go in and they're 93 years old and they say, "Listen, I like that you're a physical therapist. I think it's great that you came to see me, but what can you do with this? I'm 90 years old. I can't get stronger." Well, in 2013 in Science Daily, patients over 90 years old who participated in regular exercises improved their strength, their power, and most importantly, their muscle mass. And guess what? That was reflected in increased walking speeds, increased sit-to-stand strength and speed, improved balance, and especially a decreased chance of falling on the ground. And now the minute you've all been waiting for, we're going to get busy with these exercises. They are simple, they're fast, and they're effective. 10 to 15 minutes 2 times a day is all you need to do. Now, a lot of people say they don't have time for that, but honestly, you do. If you set it up the same time every day, maybe after breakfast, after dinner, or before breakfast and before dinner, you're not going to forget these exercises. You don't even have to do them in any particular order. You can do the laying down ones before you get out of bed in the morning, and when you go get your coffee in the morning, you can hold onto the sink and do the standing ones. No problem at all. I call it Stickman simplicity. And here's the Stickman. You're going to be able to download these exercises or link to this sheet, and you can put it in different places in your home if you'd like to remind you to do the exercises. But as you can see, no famous artwork, no exhaustive pictures, it's just Stickman. But you know what? They work. We move to the bedroom now. All you need is a bed. Doesn't have to be a fancy bed. Any kind of bed will do. Some patients actually do these on the floor, but in the 80 to 90-year-old group, some people can't get off the floor once you get down on the floor. So I like people to do them on the bed. So any bed will do. Here we go. The first exercise is called a bottom raise. This is a very important exercise to allow you to get out of chairs, especially low couches, because we're working the quads and what are called the hip extensors. This is a great exercise for building strength in the knees without hurting the knees, because there's no weight bearing into the knees. So, arms down by your side and just raise your hips up as high as you can without causing pain. 1, 2, and only bring it up as high as you can without pain. 3, great exercise for strengthening the lower back. 4, and 5. Those of you with any type of spinal stenosis might find this a big benefit because it strengthens the stabilizers of the lower back. So it's probably 50-50 whether it'll help your spinal stenosis, but try it anyway. The next exercise is called a straight leg raise, just like it sounds. You lay down on your back, make sure the other knee is bent to flatten the lower back. 2 parts to this. You pull the toes up, lock your knee, and raise your leg up to the level of the other knee, and then lower it. Relax everything, toes up, lock your knee, and raise it up. That's 2, 3, 4, and don't come way up here, okay? You're not a rockhead anymore. You're not going to kick your leg up this high anymore. So if you come up this high, you have a chance of hurting or causing sciatica, making the sciatica worse if you have any lower back pain. Now let's do the other side. Toes up, lock your knee. 1, 2, 3, slower is better. 4, and 5. Great. This next one causes panic on my patients' faces. I say, okay, now we're going to do a partial sit-up, and they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't done a sit-up since I was in gym class in high school. It's a partial sit-up, very, very easy. No overexerting is necessary on this. So you lie down, you bend your knees up, you put a hand on each shoulder, and you curl the spine. That's as much as the stomach works in a sit-up anyway. The rest is hip flexors. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's an excellent core strengthening exercise. The stronger your core is, the less chances you have of losing your balance and falling on the floor. This next exercise is great for the nights where you wake up at 3 in the morning, your back is stiff, or if you have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning because your back feels like a rock. All right, you lie down on your back, you bend your knees up, you keep your knees together, you spread your arms apart as much as you can like this to stabilize, and then you just keep your shoulders flat if you can and go as far as you can each way. Again, you go to the point of pain, don't push through the pain if you have any. Just touch the pain and come off of it. At night when you wake up, it's a great thing to do just to rock it back and forth like this. But during the day, we want to try to get a little more mobility in the spine. Again, we're working stability and mobility. And that's it. The next exercise is a standing squat, which you can either do at a sink or a counter. I'm doing it at the counter now just for the filming purposes. So I'm going to do it 5 times, looking straight ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see that I'm only bending my knees a little bit. If you go way down here, you're going to increase the arthritis in your knees. If you have any arthritis to begin with in your knees, say your knees hurt after a long walk or your knees hurt when you get out of a chair, you probably want to eliminate this specific exercise or check with your doctor. The next exercise is a side leg raise. Now the important thing on this one is to not come up too high when you lift your leg to the side, because that compresses the lower back and can really increase the pain in your back if you have any spinal stenosis at all or any lower back pain. So be careful with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you would do the other side. Now again, when you're doing these on your own, you're probably going to be doing 10, 15, or 20 at a time. But that's up to you. I'm keeping it short and sweet here just so we don't take all day to go through these exercises. The next one is called a heel raise and a toe raise, just like it sounds. So I'm holding onto the counter, I'm standing up tall, I'm going up on my toes, raising my heels, then I go back on my heels and I pick my toes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a critical exercise for not falling backwards. When you lift your toes up off the ground especially, you're building the muscles that prevent backward falls. So this is a very important exercise to do. In the past, we just would have people go up on their toes. But then through the research, we learned that you've got to add the lifting of the toes to reduce falls. The next exercise can sometimes confuse people, so I want to spend a little more time with this one. This is an important exercise because it loads the knee and then it unloads the knee. So you're working on balance and strength at the same time. What I'm doing is I'm lunging. It's called a lunge, by the way. I'm lunging with the outside leg while I hold on to the counter. This is must. This is definitely a must. You must hold on here because it supports your lower back, but also sometimes that knee can give way and you have no support. So always maintain contact with the counter on this exercise. So here we go. 1, try to keep the other leg a little straight. 2, don't go down far on this. 3, 4, 5. Then you turn around to do the other side. So now I'm lunging with my left leg. Here we go. Looking straight ahead. 1, not going down too far. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the important thing is if you feel any grinding in the knee that you're lunging with or any pain, you probably need to eliminate that specific exercise. Oftentimes I hear my patients say, well, how do I get my arms strong? Do I use dumbbells? What do? I got to get rid of this, this chicken fat they call it. I go, listen, the only muscles you need in this age group for the arms are the ones that are going to really help you. Those are called the triceps, the ones that actually propel you out of a chair. We've got to strengthen those. An easy way to do it, you pick a chair with the arms, make sure it's steady, it's not on rollers, and if it's not a steady chair, brace it up against a wall or find a different chair. This can be dangerous if the chair scoots out behind you as you're trying to do a push-up. So we need a good stable chair like this one. And then you just put your feet out a little bit and you use your arms to push yourself up. Now, if you can only get this far, go that far. But you'll find after a couple weeks of doing this, you're able to complete the entire range of motion. Two things this does: strengthens the triceps, but it also helps the lower back. Think about it. When I'm like this and I can lock my arms, my back is getting a little bit of traction. So it can help with your lower back pain as well sometimes, if we get lucky. The reason we use a chair is it's comfortable, but it puts us in a position to be able to stretch the lower back out in a very safe way. I often tell my patients, I want you to do toe touches, and they freak out. What do you mean touch my toes? I go, no, sitting down. So this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna stretch the back. Maybe let the back of the hands hit the floor if you can. I call it a rag doll because it's like you just kind of fall down like a rag doll and allow all those joints in the back to stretch. The other benefit to this exercise, and this is key, is that it works your vestibular system. So maybe 2 weeks from now, when you go down to pick a pencil up off the floor and your head goes forward, you've been practicing that every day, and the vestibular system doesn't trigger a dizziness episode, which can result in a fall. That's it, everybody. But just remember, when you start an exercise program, your body's going to try to talk you out of it. It likes sitting and doing nothing. So when you start something like this, expect a little bit of soreness. Have fun with it. Get healthier. Hey, if you have any questions after going through these exercises or before starting them, put them in the comments section below. And you can also find my email address, brian@restorability.net. Thanks for watching. Get at it.